Alrighty, welcome to another day in paradise. Well, should I say afternoon, evening in paradise. This is just going to be a quickie introduction to my next plans. Yes, I know I'm supposed to be doing the axles, but things turn up and things change. Yeah, I'm been getting a lot of slack about that, man. Holy moly, people do not like that. Anyway, too bad. I'm going to put a big propane sticker on it just to keep people happy because they think it's a propane tank. But um, yeah, interesting. All right, yeah, amount of crazy stuff that people say to me. Never had that before. Wacky. Anyway, right, what we've got here is I'm gonna do a couple of things, but the main thing is I'm gonna do the exhaust. I'll get this out of there. Right, so obviously we've got our exhaust housing there. It has quite a big hole in the back that you can't quite see. It's close. It's over 3 inches the hole out the back of it anyway. So that's cool. Now I have what here is some super huge piping. This stuff here is 4-inch piping. Previously, sitting over here, I had 3.5-inch piping. This is it here, and that was the complete exhaust system. It was from there out the side of the car there. Short exhaust, 3.5-inch on the 3.5 litre V6. And believe it or not, it was as quiet as a mouse. It was crazy how quiet it was. I couldn't believe it. Quiet as a mouse. I don't know why, it just was. Anyway, so the turbo's got an interesting outlet. I don't really like welding to turbine housings to put a V-band or anything on it, but it has an unusual slip joint system. So I've turned up previously I've turned up a fitting that fits into the back of the turbo, and it has, if you can see that, these slip rings which are actually piston rings, and they can press, and there's 2 of them in there, and they push into the back of the turbo. They sort of push into place, and the whole thing sort of seals up, and which is cool. And then there's obviously allows for a little bit of a movement as well, a very small amount of movement. So yeah, I'll be cutting that little piece I've made, turned up in the lathe, coning it out to a 4-inch pipe. This is just over, well, this is 3.5 here, so it's just fractionally smaller than 3.5. Cone it out to 4-inch. Won't be using that muffler. Like I said, on the V6 that was as quiet as a mouse. I can't comprehend how quiet it was. It did bark up a little bit once you got into it, but all in all it was quiet as a mouse. So this time I'm going 4-inch, and that's pretty big, but on a car like this it's easy to fit 4 inches in, because you don't have ground clearance issues like you do with a normal front engine car. Everything's at the back, so 4-inch straight, I won't be using much of it, a 4-inch bend, and this is all mild steel. And I've got this here which is actually a 4-inch resonator, but it's quite grunty. It's got internal louvers, so hopefully that'll scrub off a bit of the sound. And I thought, well, yeah, it's probably not going to do too much in terms of sound reduction, but you never know, because I think the turbo on this thing just quietens everything down a huge amount, like I said on the V6. So I'm going to risk it. I'm going to run this stainless steel resonator, big louvers on it, straight through. So the plan is for this is it will be coming out of the turbo, out to cone it out to 4 inches, a right angle bend, and then it's a bit dark in here, I know. The resonator will be peeling off down to the right hand side of the car, and I'm not even going to put a bend or anything on the back of it. Like, I'm not going to bend it out the back of the car so it faces the back. I'm just going to let it come straight down and flush cut it to the where as it's coming out straight, just flush cut it to the sort of shape of the back of the car. I don't need everybody to see how big my exhaust is. This is purely function over form, so it will be flush cut to the bottom of the car, maybe just have it protruding a little bit, but it will be straight with a 90 on it, going down to the turbo. And then obviously then I'll get onto the two wastegates and their own little muffler. So that's the plan. Fingers crossed it won't be too loud. First time we've ever played with 4-inch exhausts. I thought, well, you know, the 500 plus horsepower, which I'm hoping to get one day, I'll make an exhaust that will easily be able to take all of that and more. So that's the plan. Rightio, I'll get into it and start creating. Right, awesome. Okay, through the magic of television, I've been powering ahead, haven't filmed much because I've had some people here and I didn't want to look like a dork in video while there's people here. But anyway, I've just got to go home, but I'll just do a quick little update so far. Right, we have made a cone that comes out of the turbo with that slip ring, piston ring type joiner. I have made a circle brace where that original brace was, so that the pipe can go through it. It needs to be painted and primed and everything, so it's pretty rough looking, but it's all good. It's 4-inch, obviously. It comes out, it goes down through the muffler, and I'll put it up in the air and show you what it looks like from underneath. Okay, this is from underneath. We can see it coming out of the turbo there. It's all just tacked together at the moment. Comes down, and then we have a big slice cut, angle cut. Looks pretty vicious actually. There we go. And I've sort of tried to make it sort of contour to the bodywork a little bit, just protruding from the bodywork, so that it's legal, no fumes can get caught up. And yeah, sort of tried to make it sort of curl up a little bit, sort of to copy the shape-ish of the bodywork. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, so that's a straight pipe all the way to the first bend up there. And my logic is, well, a straight bend is, a straight pipe is always good rather than a bend. The less bends, the better in terms of for flow. Although in saying that, I'll probably get some wise ass telling me that I've done it all wrong, like my intake. Man, there's some dicks on there. Anyway, and I thought to myself, well, if this resonator type muffler is, even though it's got those internal louvers and hopefully it'll scrub off a bit of noise, I'm hoping that it won't be too loud. If it is, I thought to myself, because it's a 4-inch pipe, I could in fact insert a butt plug baffle type thing up the centre of it. It's got the room for it. So in the worst case scenario, if the thing ended up being too loud, I could insert something up it for like road use, and then just unbolt it and pull it out, and then it will be back to the full flow 4-inch. Just a thought. I probably won't have to do it, but because that turbo seems to shut the noise up quite a lot. So yeah, that's what we've got. And yeah, so now it's got a matter of welding it up, bracing it all, and then working on the wastegate piping. Right, I've got to go home, but there'll be more to come.